Coming up at 11, more than 400 new cases of COVID-19 reported in Kentucky today.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The number of cases of the coronavirus in the United States has now surpassed the 3 million mark, by far the most in the world. The U.S. death toll has topped 132,000. New Sunbelt region hotspots of Florida, Texas, Arizona, and California are increasing concerns about ICU capacity. CBS's Chris Martinez reports from Los Angeles.
In short, we've had 3 weeks now of going in the wrong direction.
The Louisiana governor's message about rising case numbers and hospitalizations is a familiar one across the Sunbelt.
Bourbon Street worries me.
New Orleans mayor announced plans to ban bar seating throughout the city, which was hit hard by the coronavirus in the spring. In Florida, ICUs are at capacity at dozens of hospitals.
There's no doubt that this virus is just as deadly now as it was 3 months ago, and we're seeing more patients come into the hospital, more patients with infection, and more patients with complications.
Nick Sharp is one of many Miami-Dade restaurant owners halting indoor dining Thursday on orders from the county mayor.
The virus isn't going anywhere anytime soon. We need a solution between now and then. You know, how can we operate safely and balancing public safety with economic?
People are now waiting up to 13 hours to be tested in Arizona, where getting results could now take days due to backlogs. In California, at least 100 people died from the virus for the third day over the past week. A new poll reveals 77% of California residents worry they or a loved one will contract coronavirus. More than half said the state relaxed its stay-at-home order too soon. Houston's Mayor Sylvester Turner canceled next week's in-person Texas State Republican Convention, and New York City announced the nation's largest school system will be limited to 1 to 3 days a week in the fall. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now, 8 Ivy League schools are saying all sports have been canceled at least until the new year. For a second day in a row, we've recorded the second highest daily total for COVID-19 cases in Kentucky. With 402 new cases today, we are now at a total of 17,919. 6 new deaths were reported today. 608 Kentuckians have now died from COVID-19. One of those deaths is a 78-year-old woman from Perry County. Today was just the second time the state has surpassed 400 new cases in a single day. We came close yesterday, too. The highest so far is May 5th, when we had 625 cases, but half of those came from mass testing at a state prison. We learned tonight that a Perry County Central boys basketball coach tested positive for COVID-19. The staff member will be quarantining at home. Superintendent Jonathan Jett posted on Facebook that they believe the risk for students is low. This comes just one day after a Hazard High School football player tested positive. New national research shows that asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic COVID-19 cases are a primary driver of the virus spreading. The study says that carriers without symptoms could be responsible for half of COVID-19 cases. Shelby Smithson explains what those numbers look like here in Kentucky and what health experts say that means for testing and masks.
The best thing to do is just assume everybody's got COVID.
It's a disease that affects people in so many different ways, from no symptoms at all to the need for a ventilator. And health experts are still finding out new things about the virus.
And even in medicine, what we've learned is that our ability to screen for this at the front door is very limited and very challenging.
Which could be a contributing factor in a new study that says half of COVID-19 cases may be caused by asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic cases. Based on preliminary data from the Lexington-Fayette County Health Department, that number is at about 30% here in Lexington. But the study says it would still take more than 1/3 of those infections to be identified and isolated to suppress a future outbreak. According to the World Health Organization, people who have COVID-19 but remain asymptomatic seem to be the least likely to pass it on. But it's those who are pre-symptomatic, meaning they're in the early stages of the virus before they develop symptoms, have the highest chance of spreading the illness.
But the problem is you don't know until everything's said and done whether you're potentially asymptomatic or just pre-symptomatic. We don't know exactly who is going to develop symptoms, or who is very early, or who actually has very mild symptoms that they're brushing off as allergies.
That's one of the big reasons health experts are pushing the need to wear face masks and get tested, whether you feel sick or not.
And the problem is it kind of limps along for so long in terms of development. You can spread it to a bunch of people before you realize what's going on.
In Lexington, Shelby Smithson, WYMT Mountain News.
To find a testing site near you, you can go to kycovid19.ky.gov. Now, Governor Beshear has scheduled a news conference for tomorrow afternoon at 4. He says he will announce some mandatory new requirements. We will carry a portion of that news conference live here on WYMT, and you can watch it all on our second channel, Heroes and Icons, and of course on our Facebook page.
Saw lots of sunshine once again today. It was a gorgeous but hot and humid day, and we're going to continue to see that heading into your Thursday. We'll take you up to that Pikeville camera where you're looking along US 119, US 23, where they remain dry throughout the really afternoon and evening hours. Few clouds here and there, but overall plenty of sunshine. Most of us did remain on that dry side today. Temperatures cooler down into the Cumberland Valley, already into the 60s in Williamsburg and Middlesboro. Lower 70s London, Harlan, and Somerset, but still near 80 degrees for us here in Hazard. Jackson up to Moorhead, upper 70s over into Pikeville, and it's still feeling pretty muggy out there with those dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s, making it feel on the muggy side, and will provide probably some patchy to possibly dense fog late tonight, early into tomorrow morning. So we did see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms today. We even had a severe storm pop up in parts of Pulaski County, but it got out of here pretty quickly, and most of those showers and storms stayed down into parts of the Cumberland Valley. Now for tonight, temperatures really only going to remain around 70 degrees. We have seen most of those chances get out of here, so we should remain dry throughout the rest of the overnight hours, and those hot temperatures continue tomorrow. We'll hang on to some scattered storms as well, and a cold front moves in, bringing us a little bit more rain, but bringing us a much needed cool down. I'll have more details on that coming up in a little bit.
Paige, thank you. New at 11, we are seeing video of the moments after the Breonna Taylor shooting for the first time. We have Taylor's boyfriend, who you'll see in the video, Kenneth Walker, telling police why he fired the shot that hit an officer.
What is it about? You forgot to fire shots. You know that. You just said you were not. In the bed. We were scared. No, we didn't know who it was.
We do not know if there's other video of what was said before that exchange. In previous interviews, Walker said he heard a knock at the door, but did not know it was police. That's something officers have disputed. They were serving a no-knock warrant at the apartment in Louisville back in March. Now tomorrow we expect no-knock warrants to come up in Frankfort. Senate President Robert Stivers is set to have a news conference. He's expected to talk about no-knock warrants and a potential bill for the upcoming regular session. Louisville has already banned the use of the warrants. Lexington Mayor Linda Gorton put a moratorium on those types of warrants in that city. The Kentucky State Police Commissioner says an effigy of the governor hanged back in May was not taken down as quickly as he would have liked. The effigy was hung from a tree during a rally on the Capitol grounds. Commissioner Rodney Brewer talked to state lawmakers today during a subcommittee meeting. The Herald Leader covered it. They report Brewer said they have learned from their mistakes that day, and a new security system has been installed at the governor's mansion. A man who admitted to planning a school shooting was sentenced to 10 years in prison. A judge also sentenced Dylan Gerald to an additional 5 years of supervised release. Gerald pleaded guilty to multiple federal charges in November. He was arrested back in 2018 after police say he was planning a shooting at Shelby County High School. Officers say they found a semi-automatic rifle, a bump stock, large capacity magazines, ammo, and body armor in his car after he was stopped. This afternoon, I spoke to Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Amy Mcgrath in an exclusive interview, her first since the primary election. Mcgrath discussed her victory over Charles Booker and others, and how she is calling on Booker's supporters and all Democrats to vote for her and defeat Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Mcgrath also spoke about handling the COVID-19 pandemic and said she would support Governor Beshear if he put in place a mandate to require everyone to wear masks in public.
And it shouldn't be politicized. And that's the thing that bothers me right now, is that somehow we're politicizing this, and we should not be doing that. We should be doing what it takes in accordance with public health to get this coronavirus under control.
You can see the full interview Sunday morning and Monday evening on Issues and Answers right here on WYMT. A Pikeville firefighter has carried the weight of the job for 11 years, and it has been a lot to shoulder. Nicholas Potter was diagnosed with PTSD in 2016 after a call involving a young child. That same year, he and his wife lost a child. He held on to the pain for years, ultimately seeking professional help before creating a YouTube channel as a new outlet. He says getting his mental health in check has been a game changer.
Don't ever give up hope. Your brain can be a terrible place to be sometimes, but if you find yourself, struggling with mental illness of any kind, you have to seek out help, and don't be afraid to do that.
You can find Potter's full story and a link to his YouTube channel on our website. Earlier today in downtown Hazard, 3 truckloads filled with toys, toothpaste, clothes, and more was all given away, all provided by Save the Children. Normally these giveaways are at a school and just for students, but this one was different. WYMT's Lacey Roberts explains.
This was the scene at the picnic shelter Wednesday afternoon.
It's been empty since about 12.
Only an hour after the giveaway was to begin.
Seeing a lot more people need it and want to get whatever resources we have available since COVID's been going on.
People eager, they started an hour early.
Just having it here downtown is a little bit more accessible than having it like at the school.
Kennedy Coots works in Hazard Independent Schools with Save the Children.
We just had so much stuff that we just decided to set up today and give it out to whoever needed it.
Donations given by a program within Save the Children called Gift in Kind, where companies donate their products to be distributed.
Diapers and food. We've had toys delivered to us, clothes, just about Legos, anything you can think of we've had delivered to us.
Knowing this was a blessing to some.
He knew God put him here so he could get some of this stuff. So just hearing stuff like that, it makes it all worth it.
Leaving an empty shelter with happy faces. In Hazard, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
Donations and gifts also came from the Christian Appalachian Project and the Salvation Army. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a year of cancellations, from sporting events to graduations to trips planned long in advance. We'll introduce you to one local business now just trying to stay afloat.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue tomorrow, but soggy weather looks to move in by Friday. I'll have more details on that coming up.